Hey friends, this is Jennifer from Contentment, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about my new book. This is the first one, and this is the author copy, so I'm super excited to get it. That's why it has this big not for resale band, but this is the book. It's called The Pearl Perspective, How Changing Your Perspective Can Change Your Life. And I have had such a great response during the first week of launch. I am super excited. To the point that my husband is like, I don't want to hear about it anymore. I love you and I'm proud of you, but the word count on this thing has like exceeded his limit. So I thought I would come on and talk to you guys about it. Funny thing, I actually tried to do a live video on this on Facebook. And so I got on and I started talking, and I felt like I did really well. And I felt like I was just killing it, and I was really happy with the video, and so I ended it, and then I posted it, and my husband goes to watch it, and he goes, there's no sound on it. I had done a whole 25-minute live with no sound whatsoever. So that one was, take it down. So we're going to try this again on a recorded video, and I know that my phone will record the sound. Have to excuse, I'm just holding my phone because I couldn't find the tripod. It has legs, then they do grow, but it doesn't usually walk off, but I don't know where it is this morning. Anyway, let's start going through a little bit about the book and why I wrote the book, and then at the end I will give you some launch numbers from the first day. You can see that I have really fancy notes. This was holding the silverware at a restaurant that I took the kids out to eat at while they were off over Christmas break. So, I'm just an ordinary person. Just like you. I'm just an ordinary person, and I've gone through my own personal development journey, and that's what I wanted to come and share with you because I thought that it might help you with yours. And that's why I wrote The Pearl Perspective. You know, life is too short to not enjoy your life. You need to be happy with it. You need to stop and enjoy it. And I had gotten to a point that, I had a good life. I had a great family. I was very happy with my husband. But just things didn't quite seem to be enough, and I started to get really unsatisfied. I don't know if you have ever had that or not, but it's really easy to start comparing ourselves to others, and I started finding fault with everything. The house needs work. The house is too little. I want a second bathroom, which we have now, and it is very nice. But I got really impatient because I was starting like nothing was good enough. And I wanted things to change, and by golly, I wanted them to change now. And my husband couldn't do anything right. My kids couldn't do anything right. And I didn't feel happy. And I decided that needed to change because I was responsible for my own happiness. And that's actually where the blog started. And what started with a blog at contentmentquesting.com kind of grew into this desire to write a book. I was outside weeding my flower bed, and I was praying, and I thought, okay, Lord, what next? What should I do? And this thought popped into my head, you should write a book. I'm like, what? No, not me. I mean, me? Write a book? But the thought would not leave my head, and the desire to write this book just grew stronger and stronger, and I sat down at the keyboard and started typing it out, and it just flowed out of me. So that's how I had the inspiration to write The Pearl Perspective. And that title may seem a little odd, but I explain the title in the very first chapter of the book. And if you wanted the first chapter, I've actually got the first 2 chapters available on my blog for free. Just enter your email address. There's a little spot on the right hand sidebar where you can enter your email address. You can get access to my freebie library, and the first 2 chapters of the book are completely free to you because I want to offer you something that will help you. Because I want you to be happy with your life. That's the whole idea behind this. But, when I started my personal development journey, I didn't really know where to start. And it would have been nice to have something like a quick start guide. And that's kind of what the Pearl Perspective is. It is a quick start guide to enjoying your life. Now, the Pearl is you. So often, it's so easy to start seeing ourselves as a dull, worthless marble that, gets stuck in the back of a drawer and forgotten. But that's not what you are. You're not a marble. You are a pearl. You are special. You are precious. You are unique. And you are extremely valuable. There's nobody in this world like you. You have your own set of life experiences. You have your own set of special talents and skills. Nobody can tell your story like you can. Nobody has the exact same story. And that is a gift that God gave you and nobody else. There's a reason that there's billions of people in the world, but there's no one that's just like you. Oh, you are a pearl. And when you start seeing yourself as a pearl, you start seeing yourself as unique and valuable, then that's when your personal development journey can really start, and you can start taking the steps to become happier with your life. And the good news is it doesn't have to take a long time to do it. I said it was a quick start guide. There's things in the book that you can do today that will make you a happier person. You don't have to wait a week. You don't have to wait a month. Or you don't have to wait a year. You don't even have to wait an hour for a lot of this. When you start trying to improve yourself, it's a lot like trying to declutter your house, which I'm not the best at, but I'm making strides. So, there's things that you need to keep because they mean a lot to you and they bring you happiness and joy. And there's other things that just clutter and they take up space and they don't bring you any happiness. So when you start your personal development journey, there are things that you need to keep. Like you need to keep gratitude, you need to keep mindfulness, and there's other things that you need to get rid of, like worrying too much, comparing yourself to others. Those are traps, and those things drag us down and they don't give us joy. And in the Pearl Perspective, I kind of take you through not only what to release, but how to release those things, because those have been hard battles for me to fight. There's also a chapter in there about critics and criticism, which that's probably, of all the chapters in the book, that was the hardest one for me to write, because I'm a pretty sensitive person, and if somebody says something mean to me, then I take it to heart, and it really hurts my feelings. So whenever you try to deal with, there's a chapter on there, like I said, dealing with critics and criticism, and there's a certain mindset and kind of way to think about it. I also talk about your inner critic, sometimes called your inner mean girl, or, all of us have an inner critic, and that's tied a lot into our self-talk, and it just, if you don't tame that inner critic, you're going to be constantly dragging yourself down whenever you try to achieve your goals. You've got to learn to tell that mean girl, be quiet. That is not true. Because the inner critic, all those limiting beliefs and all the things that those inner critics say to you is based on insecurity, and they're lies. They're not true. You are amazing. And you can do anything that you put your mind to, but you can't do everything at once. And there's another thing I talked about, chasing your dreams. And another chapter in the book is also talking about how to make good choices, how to set goals so that you can achieve your dreams. Now, I will tell you something about chasing your dreams. You can do it. but it is going to be scary. Scary, really scary sometimes, because your dreams are often outside of your comfort zone. But when you stretch beyond your comfort zone, that's when your personal growth occurs. So it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but it'll be worth it. And don't be afraid of failing. This is something I'm talking to me again, because when I first started out thinking about writing a book, that was probably one of my biggest fears. Was I was scared of failing. I was scared that I would say something that would bring shame upon the people that I loved, and I was also afraid that nobody would be interested and nobody would want to read it. But that has not been the case. I have been super just overwhelmed by the results. So now that I've told you a little bit about the book, I'd like to tell you about my first week launch results. Now, for the first week, it launched on January the 1st, and starting on January the 2nd, which was a Wednesday, and then going through the following Sunday night, I ran a free Kindle edition promo. And my goal was, it seemed impossible at the time, whether that I said it, but I thought if I can get 100 copies distributed by the end of the month, then I will consider the Pearl Perspective to be a success. And it has been, this is January the 7th, so we're talking 7 days from launch. The free promo just ended. 237 copies of the Pearl Perspective have been distributed. That is ebooks, it's free Kindle editions, and that's paperbacks, all of those together. And I'm just blown away. And it's not just the numbers. Although in Christian personal growth, that was one of my categories on Amazon, it is currently ranking, I think, 46th out of 40,000. It's just unreal to me. So I think the thing that has touched me the most, one of the days I wrote in my journal, I wish I could just bottle up this feeling and save it forever, because I felt such an outpouring of love from everybody. I've made connections with people that I haven't talked to in years. I've made new friends and new connections, and I feel like it's touching people's hearts, and that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted to help you. If I can help one person with this book, then it will have been worth writing. Now, I do still need Amazon reviews. If you would like to help and you purchased the book, I would love if you took the time and gave me an Amazon review. If you love it, and then if you don't, if you hated it, then shoot me an email, jennifer@contentmentquesting.com. Tell me why you didn't like it. Tell me some suggestions, because just like all of us, I'm a work in progress. So the Pearl Perspective story starts off with a college chemistry professor named Dr. Battles, and Dr. Battles actually saw the book, and he told me that he was very, very proud of me. He also told me that he wanted to sign a copy, and he wanted it signed, "Your favorite turkey, Jennifer Webb." He's a nut, but he's an interesting nut. And then he taught me a really great life lesson, and without it, I probably would not have written the Pearl Perspective. And his life lesson that he taught me that made such an impact is the reason for the title of the book. And again, if you want to find out more about that, then go to contentmentquesting.com, enter your email in the box on the sidebar, and get access to my freebie library. The first 2 chapters are yours completely free. I shared this like in all the Facebook groups that I was a part of, including a lot of local ones. My 4th grade social studies teacher found it, and she was like, "Jennifer, I'm so proud of you. Way to go." My cousins, I've had friends and classmates that have shared it, and told me that I had a gift with words, and that's just been amazing and heart-touching. My parents, my brother, had a couple of beta readers that I really wanted to call out because they have just gone above and beyond. And one of those was Sharon Easterling, who I think she was as excited about the launch as I was, and she shared it everywhere, and she tagged people that she knew, and she did leave me an Amazon review, which was wonderful. So Sharon, thank you so much for that. Another beta reader that I wanted to call out that had just gone above and beyond was Anna Ladon. She is a psychology major, and I didn't really know her a lot before, but I was introduced by somebody that we both knew, and so we communicated online. But she took the beta copy and she just did like a complete second edit of it, and she suggested putting in some more examples, and so her doing that gave me a lot more confidence. Now, I'm not saying there's not any typos, because I found one this morning that I'm going to go back and fix. But like I said, just like all of us, I'm a work in progress, and so are you. Just because you don't do something perfect, it doesn't mean that it's terrible. You can go back and fix mistakes, and that shouldn't keep you from trying. Also, my aunt has been a really, really great support. Some neighbors, and my husband, of course, and my friends, and it's just like I felt this huge outpouring of love from everybody this week during launch week. It's been incredible. And there's one more person that I really want to shout out to and draw your attention to, and that's my editor, Amber Knowles. She was kind of hesitant to take on editing a book for me, but she did anyway. And she did a bang-up job. She is a writer as well, and she approaches it more with a writer's perspective. And she thought that was kind of a bad thing, but what actually wound up happening was she took my writing and she strengthened it. All those examples that everybody has been raving about, most of them she made me put in there. Most of them she was like prodding me, hey, this would be a great place for an example. Tell me more about this. I want to know. And so she asked me for more details. She took what I had written, she used my words, and she strengthened it to make it more impactful. So the Pearl Perspective would not be what it is without Amber. And the other person that I want to thank is you, because you're sitting here and you're watching this video, and I know that your time is valuable. And if you have watched the video, if you can share the video, if you purchase the book, please leave me an Amazon review. I would appreciate that so much. Like I said, if you love it, and if you don't, then shoot me an email and tell me how I can improve and how I can help you better. I'm a blogger, and I've just kind of recently got the whole blogging thing. I hesitate to say figured out, because I'm still learning how to do it, but it's not as hard as it was when I started. But this marketing the book is like this Rubik's Cube that I'm trying to figure out. And I know that some people can solve it in, like less than 5 minutes, but I'm not one of those people. I'm the person that's struggling to get one face correct for hours. So I would really, if you want to help, share this video, like this video, visit me on my blog, enter your email address, share the Pearl Perspective on Facebook, on your social media, on Pinterest. You can follow me. I'm on Pinterest, I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter. And then there's something that I'd like to ask you at the end of this. And that is, there's two things that I would like to ask about. I'm trying to decide what would be most helpful to you. Would you be interested in an audio recording of the Pearl Perspective? And would there be any interest in a private Facebook group? And if so, what would you like to see in it? I'm trying to kind of get some more ideas about where to go next and how I can better help you. Because Contentment Questing is about helping you in your quest for contentment. And I think that the Pearl perspective is true to that mission statement. So thank you so much for watching. You're welcome to subscribe, visit me, and God bless you, and happy questing.